Soros punk running around collecting Democrat politicians like my kids collect Pokemon cards.
Okay, buckle up for this one because CNN has officially reached an all-time low, trying to create this fake narrative and story that Donald Trump cannot stand Elon Musk, and Elon is secretly trying to use Donald Trump to become the next president or act as the current president. It's absolutely insane. I will be showing you the clips where CNN is trying to do this, but first we are going to watch one of the most funny mic drop moments from our favorite person, Scott Jennings out of CNN, where he flips this entire script and actually points out how Democrats are doing this, how they are bought and sold for, and how they should be pointing the fingers to one another, not Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Is this going to wear thin with Donald Trump soon?
I don't think so. I mean, look, they appear to be getting along well. Musk was very instrumental in his victory. And I hear Democrats, criticizing the idea that we have unelected people with too much influence over the government. I invite them to pick up the Wall Street Journal from this week and find out that unelected people have been running the government for the last 4 years. I hear Democrats criticizing the influence of billionaires on our politics when you've got this Soros punk running around collecting Democrat politicians like my kids collect Pokemon cards.
If there was an award show for one of the most funny mic drop moments or funniest moments on TV for a news anchor, that right there, in my opinion, would win. I have never heard something so funny in my life, comparing Soros to a Pokemon trainer and collecting Democrats as if they were Pokemon characters. But in all seriousness, let us finish this clip and then we will comment on the hypocrisy.
I think all the criticism of Musk coming from the left is totally hypocritical, totally over the top. And he is doing something interesting, bringing some transparency to the federal government. It's not a terrible thing.
But it's a...
Again, this narrative is so odd coming from CNN when you can point your finger to so many people and donors or influencers on the left who are unelected officials and actually making a negative impact on our government and society. Now, as far as this specific case between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I actually have a very recent clip for you where Donald Trump addresses this, jokes about it, and shuts down this fake narrative that Donald Trump and Elon hate one another.
And he got over 2,000 units. That's a lot. And they flooded it with Starlink, and it was so good. It saved a lot of lives, so we want to thank him. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
And by the way, that clip right there was supposed to be all of the evidence that left-leaning influencers needed or news clips needed to try improve or show to the American public that Donald Trump was making fun of Elon. By the way, Elon posted that clip and literally laughed about it. Elon doesn't even have time to be the president. He doesn't want to be the president. And I realize the narrative is that Elon is trying to create a third party and be the president through Donald Trump, but it's simply not happening. There's not enough proof. We know that this is a complete fabrication.
There are big fancy college words called oligarchy, plutocracy that folks tonight might want to look up. It's called rule by rich folks. And that's what we're dealing with. A bunch of rich folks, two rich people threw a fit online and threw the government upside down. That is not good for America. Now, did the bill go from big to little? What happened is that the bipartisan deal that got struck by elected officials of our country were overthrown by two billionaires throwing a fit, and it's not even January.
Okay, real quick, I want to stop here because Scott Jennings is once again about to mic drop on this moment, but I want to point out for how long CNN is already still trying to push this narrative. This clip is from when Elon Musk posted a picture of the original 1,500 page to 1,600 page spending bill, and people were really upset about it. Again, I'm pointing out that a news network is mad that a billionaire had transparency for the people for free, and the American people made phone calls to their elected officials. And because of all of this, somehow Donald Trump is mad at Elon for doing his job for free when Donald Trump has appointed Elon to actually do this job.
Scott, what's your take on that?
Well, if Van is concerned about unelected officials running the government, I would invite him to review the last 4 years of the Biden administration and maybe pick up the Wall Street Journal this week. We've apparently had a president that's so diminished that his staff has been hiding it from the American people and making key decisions on behalf of our government, despite never having been elected to anything at all. So if you're concerned about it tonight, maybe take a look over the last 4 years. Look, I think ultimately all's well that ends well. The government did not shut down. We're not in any kind of crisis over the holidays here. And when the Republicans get sworn in January and Trump comes to the office on January the 20th, they're going to have to come together as a team and decide, are we going to work together or not? That's ultimately how you get things done in a legislative body. This is where the Democrats had some things right. Jeffries had them unified.
Okay, Scott Jennings brought up a very important point. He pointed out the hypocrisy of, you're getting mad at unelected officials, but why aren't you getting mad at Joe Biden when he's literally just disappeared and nobody knows where he is? And speaking of nobody knows where they are, I'm going to play a clip from Kamala Harris, who all of a sudden just randomly dropped this video for no apparent reason. I have no way to explain this video. I'm just going to let it play. Again, she just posted this out of nowhere and then even put the White House seal at the end. You'll see what I mean. It's kind of weird.
And now this fight to keep the light of America's promise and to ensure it burns bright, it continues with you. Get some rest over the holidays. Spend time with the people you love. Then after you have had some rest, come back ready. Ready to chart our path to the future. Ready to summon your drive, your energy, your passion to help our fellow Americans, and be ready to get back to work, fighting for opportunity and freedom, fighting for fairness and dignity, and fighting for this country we love and the future we share.
Okay, I apologize if you are still watching this video. Thank you for getting through that. I have no idea what Kamala Harris is saying or doing. I don't even know what the context is. All I'm saying is Scott Jennings brought up, look, where are our elected officials like Joe Biden or Kamala? Well, there's Kamala. She just randomly posted that video. I don't know what they're fighting for. I don't know what she's talking about. So yeah, let us continue with this video.
What do you make of all of this and the fact that the ethics report is out and it has got some really damning information in it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be candid with you. I don't make much of it because most of the details or most of the stories that we heard, we already knew. I mean, a lot of this stuff was already swirling in the public domain anyway. Number two, Matt Gaetz is no longer in Congress. Number three, Matt Gaetz is no longer under consideration to be in Donald Trump's cabinet. As far as I'm concerned, he's a private citizen in Florida, and I'm sure he has a story to tell about this. And if he runs for office again, he'll have to, explain what's in this report, and we'll see what the voters say about this. But honestly, of all the things that happened in Washington, D.C. today, to me, this is a low priority when you consider what Joe Biden did over at the White House, commuting all the sentences of these terrible people using the power of the presidency. He's still in office. Gaetz is gone, and yet there seems to be more outrage about Gaetz over stuff that, frankly, is old news.
Okay, so this was once again a very recent clip coming out of CNN. Now, the only reason why I'm showing you this clip is because this is the hypocrisy once again, or the new narrative that CNN is trying to push. Maybe go after Matt Gaetz, who already said he doesn't even want to be in politics anymore or the government because Donald Trump had tried to elect him into an official position. Again, trying to discredit Donald Trump. They are grasping at anything at this point to try and make anyone look dumb, even if it's Matt Gaetz, who's not even going to be in politics anymore. And once again, Scott Jennings with the mic drop moment. Always point to Joe Biden or Kamala. They are still in office and yet still doing ridiculous things that CNN refuses to address or to start with.
But we actually are now getting our first taste. This is it, live and in living color, about what it means to have this Doge right out here and what that's going to mean. And that's where Elon Musk's fingerprints are all over this. Because, for example, what this bill says is, let's get rid of funding for research on pediatric cancer. Let's get rid of funding for research on early detection of cervical cancer and breast cancer. Let's get rid of funding for research on children with Down syndrome and on sickle cell anemia. Let's get rid of those things so that we can make way for tax cuts for billionaires. That is Elon Musk's notion of efficiency.
And for the first time ever, I actually agree with Elizabeth Warren. We are getting our first look at the Department of Government Efficiency, and one thing I am realizing is that all of these elected officials who were trying to trash on Elon and the people who support the Department of Government Efficiency, they are now realizing to keep their mouth shut, because we saw what the power is behind the people. When you make phone calls and you call out how ridiculous our government can be when it comes to spending bills, or trying to create a false narrative between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, our elected officials finally realized they need to cut it out and stop. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I hope I provided enough evidence for you that this entire narrative is fake, and I'm sure we will be swaying away from the Elon narrative, and somebody else now is going to be the next victim or target. It looks like Matt Gaetz is now the next victim.